All right, turning now to your community focus. If you watch us regularly, you may have heard there's an election coming up. Here to talk about important voter deadlines and more, Secretary of State Gregg Amore. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Kim.
So to start, we have some important voter registration information. I want to talk about that before we get into the recent controversy surrounding the special election for Congress. The deadline to register to vote for the primary has passed. That was Sunday. But let's talk through some other important dates heading into the primary. What should people know about mail ballots and early voting?
Sure. So next week's a big week. The 15th of August is the deadline to request a mail ballot, either in person at your city or town hall, online through us, and through our online mail ballot application app. And then the 16th will start early voting. And early voting will go from the 16th through September 5th, and that is at local city and town halls in CD1, other than Bristol. And Bristol's using a school, Reynolds School.
Okay, and let's look ahead to the general election. It's not too late to register for that.
Right, so October 8th would be the deadline for the general election registration. And so it's not too late for that, and there will be a general. There's a Republican primary and a Democratic primary, so there definitively will be a general election.
And you mentioned that people can request a mail ballot online. Is that new this year?
So that's part of the Let Rhode Island Vote legislation that was passed a few years ago. And basically you can go onto our website, vote.ri.gov, plug in your state ID number or your license number, and then you can request a mail ballot through that process. And so we just launched that about a month ago. Well over 1,000 people have already requested a mail ballot through that process. It's secure, it's easy, and all you have to do is go to our website.
And when should they expect to get those mail ballots?
Yeah, the mail ballots will be going out next week.
Okay.
And so those that have already requested, they'll get theirs next week, and then as you request up to the deadline, they'll follow.
And polling places for the primary might be a little bit different because some schools are staying open?
Yeah, I think folks should expect a different primary place than they usually vote, only because the turnout is expected to be lower. And so the polling places have been condensed, and the locals make those decisions based on past practice, and then the Board of Elections approves that. So I would, again, recommend that people go to vote.ri.gov, and they can find their polling location on our website once that has been established.
I want to talk to you about the signature scandal in the 1st Congressional District race. The Board of Elections earlier this week reversed course, decided to review all the signatures submitted by the Matos campaign. They did that today. Do you think it's the right call?
My preference would have been that they did it earlier, right in the midst of the process, the challenge process, and I think they could have done that, and I was very clear that I thought they should have done that. I'm glad they're doing it because I think any time we have a chance to shore up confidence in the process, we should do so, and I'm confident that this will result in what we know, that Lieutenant Governor Matos qualified for the ballot, and that the locals did a very good job in verifying those signatures, and then we'll move on. And our ballots have been sent out already to overseas and military personnel, and the ballots will be sent out next week to folks domestically who have requested one.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's sort of in agreement that she has enough valid signatures, 500 valid signatures. But if this review hypothetically found that she did not, what would happen to the ballots? Yeah,
the ballots are the ballots. They have been produced. They're out. I believe some of the military folks have already voted those ballots and sent them back in. So the ballots are the ballots, and you know, the news coverage of that will determine what people decide to do. But I'm confident that our local boards of canvassers did a good job, and that Lieutenant Governor has sufficient signatures.
And just quickly, 20 seconds, zooming out from this particular issue, what lessons can we learn from this, and what do you think needs to change?
I think there's a great deal we can learn, right? As a campaign, the campaign should learn that there is a process. They have to make sure that the folks that they have undertaking this process are doing the right thing and know the law. And then on our side, the elections official side, we can tighten up some of this. You know, we can make sure that the Board of Elections can review in real time if they see a problem, and that they can identify that problem and share that issue with all of the local boards of canvassers.
All right, Secretary of State Gregg Amore, that's all the time that we have, but thanks for being here at 4.
Pleasure.